From the heart of Europe to the world, this is RTI.
It certainly is. It's Postcard from Poprad. I'm Eric Wiltshire. It's a lovely sunny day. It's you lot are all not working. How come? Anyway, it's a lovely sunny day in Poprad. I don't mind being with you. It's wonderful. Nice talking to so many of you this morning from all around the world, actually, as it goes. I've been having fun playing music radio, just by way of a change. This is your alternative news thing. We will be doing some news, but because it's a bank holiday Friday, we're going to have a bit of fun as well. And it's going to be very Australian, which is worrying deeply. But the Aussies are taking over today. Hello, Dave, who's just joined us. And now, I'll get that one right this time, is Mr. Banks.
Hello. I know we're not doing news today particularly, but I just have to mention the biggest news story of the day, which must be the mother from Rugeley, which is just up the road from us, Nicola Paisley, who has complained to Tesco's saying that her daughter is going to die of starvation because they've stopped doing alphabetic crispy letters anymore.
Oh, God.
She's worried her daughter's going to die. Well, I think that is the world-shattering news of the day.
I think so. Hello, Peter B. You're on the network as well. Lovely to have everybody there as well. Gil's there. Emden's there. Oh, my word, there's so many. Hello, Rach.
Hello.
Rach.
How are you?
Uncle Leigh.
How are you?
I'm very well. I'm very well travelled, very disturbed by a missing panel in the wardrobe hotel door that seems to be missing, and my OCD brain is just in absolute agony. But, I think I'm going to be all right. I'm in my hometown. I'm in my hometown for Easter, don't you know?
In Adelaide?
Yes.
Gosh.
In Adelaide, it's about, I think it was about 700 and something kilometres drive for us today.
Wow.
Which is fine, whatever. It's Australia, man. Everything's really far away.
Yeah, I know. I've seen the truckers programs, where they drive for like years. What's the other one I like? The people that go up to the Northern Territories mining for bits of gold.
Yeah.
Oh, those funny gold miners. Gold miners. You can find gold miners everywhere. Do you know what you should do, Uncle Eric? Here's a top tip. You should get on a plane.
Yeah.
Come to Australia, and I'll take you to the gold mining capital of the universe, which is, you would think it's California, but it's not. It's Victoria, the state where I currently live, and I'll take you to the gold fields, and we'll go panning and digging.
I'd love to do that.
Ooh.
So get on a plane, and I'll take you.
But would they let me in?
Nah.
Yeah, if you're with me, you're right.
Oh, okay then. So you're the passport to success.
Right.
Okay. Well, anyway, boys and girls, we're going to share what we're doing first, because it's going to be a little bit different today. What?
I'm sorry. I just have to say very quickly, 5 decades beyond, and Paul Rock's Teenage Cancer has now appeared on Consumer Watch Foundation. Thank you very much, Igor.
Right. That was a world record this week. It was 3 minutes and 28 seconds before he got a plug in.
I was just saying thank you to somebody. I was just being nice to people.
Oh.
The world record was last week when he didn't mention it at all. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I thought he'd had a brain transplant as well. Anyway, today, in about 17 minutes' time, we'll be joined by Jono Colman and his team, which Rachel will explain all that, with the Generation Quiz, which is going to be dedicated especially to Dave Rhodes, because, as Jono will call him during the programme, he's an old fart. And then, this doesn't link very well with that word, as we go towards the top of the hour, we're going to be slightly cultural. Ooh, heck. That's weird. That's very weird for me.
Well, we have yoga, Uncle Eric.
Yeah, which is very weird. Anyway, 10 minutes before the top of the hour, we'll be listening to St George's Church Choir, which is in a place called Spiska Sobota, which is... Thank you. I've just read a message. I've had a moment. I've read a message. Yes, it says, "Hang on, you cultural."
Oh, yeah.
He's calling you tub of yoghurt.
Yeah. Anyway, we will be joining the St George's Church Choir, which, to be honest, I recorded last Saturday during their rehearsals. They're from Spiska Sobota, and we thought we'd have a little bit of choral music because it's Good Friday. And they're actually really cool.
Weren't you allowed to go to the real show?
Yeah, but it's now, while we're talking.
Is it indeed? So it's like it's live for Easter?
Ish, yes. Ish.
Good egg.
I know, but and I'll tell you what, you should see the choir mistress. Whoa, what a bully!
Hey, Rachel, don't listen to this. He's been telling me about her all morning. It's
Here's a choir we prepared earlier.
Yeah. So anyway, Jono's coming up at 20 past. At 10 to the hour, we'll be going to the St George's Church Choir. Do you know, I've got to be honest, you know when you go to one of these things to record, you can visualise
That'll be
it.
a first.
Yeah, I know, you in church, that'd be a miracle. You go there and you think, it's a tiny little church. Oh, Kieran's joined us as well. Hello, Kieran.
Hello, Kieran.
And you kind of get there and you want to be nice when you go in, but there's this little bit of trepidation thinking, oh my God, what am I going to record? And I actually had to say when I came back, I was really blown away by these people. I mean, I know they don't do it for a living, but flipping heck, they ain't half good.
You know what? Most people who do things for their community or in, as they say, amateur, which is for the love of.
Yep.
They're actually looking at it because they love it so much because they're not being paid for it. So, you know, I really like community type entertainment like that. Henry said to let you know he's listening, but he can't figure out how to text you.
You can't figure out how to text me?
He'll be all right when it's over.
Yeah. Oh, no, this is ridiculous now. I know why Henry's done that. Because he just wants to plug that he's on this particular station tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the evening.
Actually, you know, I'm glad you plugged that because that's where I am too. But
oh, for goodness' sake! But
he isn't switched on enough to give himself a plug. He's just having a great time on a Friday night.
No, I'm not on it for some reason this week.
Oh, thank God for that. God, I can breathe a sigh.
It's not Henry, but some of us, yeah.
Probably Henry's learned something. Anyway.
Those donga.
I better say hello to Dave, who wants a shameless plug as well, because he's on Sunday night. And then when when am I on? Not at all.
No.
Marvellous.
Because you're
I don't need
rubbish.
to be on by myself because I'm on all these other shows at the same time.
And I'm on loads.
You're on heaps.
Oh, you're on Sunday as well.
It's on.
Oh, for goodness sake.
What?
Well, Rachel and Henry are on Saturday, Dave and Leigh are on Sunday, and I'm not on at all.
You're the boss. You're in charge, man.
No,
Get yourself on. You're Donald Trump.
I consider myself to be, as I will now describe myself, chief cook and bottle washer, and that's about an accurate description.
Yeah, well, that's you need to pander to your talents if you're going to get on in this world, Eric.
Oh, right. Have I got any?
No, that's why you're chief cook and bottle washer.
Yeah, you're chief cook and button pusher.
Oh, right.
Yeah, exactly. Button pusher. That's just like Donald Trump.
Yeah,
And
let's try and do a couple of stories for you.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
The veteran blues guitarist John Giles from the J. Giles Band has died at the age of 74 in Boston. He's probably been best known for the J. Giles Band, isn't he?
71. He died.
71. I'm sorry. Oh, I've just been corrected.
They were a good band. Who's berated you?
I've been corrected.
Oh, corrected. Who by?
I've been corrected because it says, anyway, you're on now, so stop arguing.
Actually, who said that? Was that Mr. Rhodes?
Yes.
Yeah, he's quite right. Yes, shut up moaning.
All right.
You've got the prime spot on a Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
Every week, and all you do is whinge, 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 moan, moan, moan.
Oh.
Ooh, I'm not on the air. I'm a professional. Yeah.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. Anyway, poor old Mr. Giles has passed away to another land and will be playing his stuff up in the skies. In actual fact, he was really big on MTV in the early days.
He did the first shot on TV.
Eh?
He did the first MTV show.
What, in America?
He was the first band on the MTV show.
In America?
In the world.
In America?
In the world, in America.
Because he wasn't the first one in Europe.
Who was that? That was probably ABBA or Agadoo.
Or Video Killed the Radio Star.
Agadoo.
Try Video Killed the Radio Star.
Who did?
Yeah,
Who killed the radio star?
Video.
Who's he? Is he like a secret hero? Superhero?
Now, I've just been told off again.
Good!
Why?
You deserve it. Who's told you off?
Dave again.
Dave, stop picking on him.
He
Anyway,
said,
usually like
and
me, tell him.
you've broken the station by not playing the music.
What?
Oh,
Has Dave Rhodes broken the station or you?
me.
Well, they are, Dave. You're right again. Honestly, just shall we start a petition to get Eric off the air forever? Eric Wiltshire off.
No.
Eric Wiltshire off.
If he's not there to press the buttons, we're all silent forever. So
You're
don't do
doomed.
that.
You're doomed.
Yeah.
Trump to push the buttons. He's good at it.
Oh, right, okay.
Don't press anymore.
We're going to be serious for a minute here because a great comedian, Charlie Murphy, has died after a battle with leukemia. And he was just such a magic comedian. And he was only 57. That's not fair. Not fair, is it, Rach?
No, it's not. And I mean, his brilliant career was sort of overshadowed by his way more famous brother, Eddie Murphy. But he was still brilliant in his own right. Did you ever see him on the Dave Chappelle show?
Yes.
His sketches were genius, and he became a real cult figure. And he was like his brother in so much as there was that, innate wit and speed and, quick brain and all that great stuff. But he had a flavour. He was Eddie Murphy's brother, but he had a flavour all of his own. And 57 and leukemia.
Not
What
nice.
a dastardly thing to happen to a person. And I mean, I so often hear of people dying, and you expect to hear, overdose or whatever, but you very rarely hear, horrible illness like leukemia. And he was a genius, and it's really sad. But you can get all his gear off YouTube if you want to watch.
He's really, really good. It's worth a watch, absolutely. Flipping
He
ease.
tweeted actually the day before he died.
Yeah.
Sent a tweet out, which is really nice. One to sleep on, release the past to rest as deeply as possible.
Nice.
That's
Nice.
so wonderful, so true, and so wonderful. And what a lovely way to leave the Tweetiverse.
Yeah, absolutely. We got one little introduction for Jose in Australia, who's a really nice guy, runs a group called the Green Room for broadcasters in Australia, and I'm an honorary member of said thing. But Jose's also a bit of a radio anorak.
Oh.
A bit.
So you're wearing your best anorak this weekend then, Jose?
He's got his Good Friday anorak on today.
Yes.
Forward one.
Actually, he's a bit like Dave, because they're both closet anoraks, but they don't say it. But I think you're right, Rach. Yeah. Jose is a huge anorak. So anyway, on Monday, the bank holiday Monday, we're going to go back to the 1980s, all remastered, and it will be a tribute to the best offshore radio station ever. Laser 558 will be on RTI all day long. And if you want to hear some great music, some great DJs, not casting aspersion on our own fabulous team, who are wonderful, a lot of them are very much inspired by Laser 558, but it was just such a wild time. It was, it almost challenged the 60s for a wild time, those few years in the 80s when everything got really cool. So we're going to bring them back for one solid day. If you look on the on our fan page, you see all the schedules on there. And if you remember good old Tom Rivers, who came on the programme a few weeks ago before Mr. Trump was elected, he's now the what's his posh title? I think he's head of news radio for ABC is his posh title in London. We put the show together, so Tom Rivers is going to be doing breakfast. Wow! That's going to be awesome. Now I've got to share with the world what... apparently Dave says, I think my anorakism is very publicly known.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
he's not
true.
a closet.
No, he's not really, is he?
No, he's not in the closet, no.
Out and proud.
No, he's out. He's out. Anyway, I've got to share this with the world because I think it's my duty to do that. Because I'm trying to be cultural today.
Oh, here we go, Rach.
I know.
I'm
Let him do
doing
it.
my best. So I thought that we should
You're doing it
share
in your vest.
some Slovak culture for Easter. What do you think?
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes. It's Rachel
Don't
who should
do
be.
it.
Rachel should be saying no.
I
No,
don't
he's
care.
making me having pure thoughts.
No,
Do it
because
to me. Don't do it to me when I got the flu. That's all.
okay, it's kind of it's a weird thing, and the idea behind it is it's supposed to make girls better for making babies. I was trying to think of a clean way to say the other words that I used. Stop it!
More for
Stop it.
maybe more for.
Do they come out of the baby closet?
No.
Sorry, I'm just trying to help you over this
Yeah, it
hiatus of this very in bad taste thing you're going to introduce. I think the principle of it's lovely, but the way he's been putting it to me all week, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's been
Yeah.
doing it in a manly man way.
Ah, right, okay. So anyway, this is the rules of the game, which I'm not encouraging anybody outside of Slovakia to do whatsoever, for obvious
You are.
reasons.
You are, don't criminalise it, and I-
If you ruled the world, you'd introduce it as a law.
Yes. Absolutely. Hi, Zan, just joined us. So
All right.
this is the tradition in Slovakia. What one does is you can go to any shops, including, and I know there's other stores here as well, including Tesco's, they sell them here. They are long twigs twisted together or plaited together, and they have little sort of pretty bits of cotton and material stuff on the top, make it all look pretty. And you buy one of those. So it's about 1 metre long, this big stick thing. You then fill up a bucket with ice cold water, and on the Sunday you rush to your lady, you pour the water over your lady, and then you spank her on the bottom with this big stick.
I tell you what, I am going to do that. As soon as this show's over, I am going to get a bucket of water, I'm going to chuck it over Andrea, and then I'm going to give her a good spanking. Let's see how good Easter is after that.
Do you want to die?
No, yes, I'm going to do it to die, yeah. If I did it tomorrow, it'd be too late.
So, is Rob listening?
I know, what are you asking me for?
He's out visiting his family, and I'm here at the hotel. He's heard this before. He still wants to do it, and I still said, do it, and you'll die. It's real
Right,
simple.
okay. No, it's not classed as assault. Someone's just suggested it's classed as assault. No, it's not in Slovakia. It's perfectly normal. Absolutely. We're a very modern country here, you know. Actually, I just realised it's 25 years this year.
What is?
Slovakia is 25 years old.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it really? That's interesting.
Yeah,
we should celebrate that.
I think we will. Anyway, another fun story, which reminds me of a story which I did years ago on Radio Luxembourg, when in California they made it legal for people with MS and things like that to actually be given marijuana cigarettes.
Yeah.
And now we have now you shouldn't do this at home, boys and girls.
Oh,
of course
no.
not. Apparently, Canada is set to legalise marijuana for recreational. Yeah, I can't say it. Use by July next year.
What's wrong with that then?
I don't know.
Tut.
I'm gonna
I
have to.
think it's a really good idea.
I'll have to ask Tanya, who's just joined us. Tanya, where have you been? You're late. Tanya's late. She's late on
Tanya's
parade.
lost her voice.
Could have done.
Oh, she's another figment of Eric's imagination.
No, not at all. But apparently they are going to do this by June next year. And it would mean that it would be the first G7 industrialised nation to do so. Gosh.
Well, it's a good thing. You see, well, we've got other nations that actually, well, they don't make it legal. They condone it, don't they? And we sort of condone it in Britain now and in Holland, yeah. But the thing is, we have to look at it sensibly. What is wrong with marijuana? It was perfectly legal until I think it was the late 50s. So it's only been illegal.
Oh, hang on. We got to go, Leigh.
Oh, bye-bye then.
Yeah, we got to go because it's time for Jono Colman and the Generation Gap.
It's Talking Lifestyle with me, Jono Colman. It's like lots of people have said, they love the old generation gap, and that's what it's time for now, the Generation Gap, because basically I'm here with my friendly co-host and super DJ music brain, John Vidler. Welcome back, John Vidler.
Thank you very much, Jono.
You having fun?
Oh, we are, especially with that sort of introduction.
Well, I like to. You gave me $50, so why not?
Yeah, why
and
not?
Also, we are the baby boomers. We are what's commonly known as the old fart DJs.
Oh.
And over there we have the young people. We've got producer Jamie, and she's a Generation Y. And, of course, Ryan, our panel operator and technical genius and wizard. Hello, Generation Y.
Hi, Jono. Hi, John.
Okay,
How's it going, Jono?
we've tossed a coin earlier, so we're going to start. We've chosen to do the first question. John Vidler, would you like to give the first question in the Generation Gap?
I will. Okay, this time we're going to do a multiple choice.
Oh, thank you.
Because
I
it's
really
a
like
particularly
those.
hard question.
Yep. Okay.
So we want to make it a little bit easier, all right?
I really appreciate that.
Okay, in the 60s and 70s, you guys should know this.
That's not the age, it's the 1960s or the 1970s.
1970s, a portable radio
Yes.
Yeah.
was
Yes.
called A, a tranny, B, a crystal set, C, a boombox.
So it's before iPods and things like that. We had portable radios that you could take to the beach or onto the bus or take them to school. What were they called? A, B or C? A tranny, a crystal set, or a boombox? Your time starts now.
I do remember boomboxes being used as over-the-shoulder.
Yeah, so do I.
Very
Okay.
disco feel.
Answer?
You
Yeah.
gonna go with that?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm locking in C.
C. Boombox.
Oh, is it tranny?
It's a tranny.
Knew it.
Yeah.
It
Sounded the
It
strangest.
had transistors in it, like little, didn't have valves like the old
it's
TV
clever.
transistors. So
And if you're
Wow.
listening this afternoon, Nick Bennett was in fact talking about trannies.
Trannies. Oh,
Right
Yeah,
here.
there you go.
Because he used to be a tranny.
What?
Oh, no, that's something else. All right, now over to the Gen Y.
All right.
Just joking, Nick. Gen Y, for your question to us, old fart DJs.
Okay, perfect. So last week we started off with the dabbing. I want to check if you guys remember what the dabbing
Yeah,
is.
it was the dance move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing it all week.
Dabba doo,
Oh,
dabba
nice.
dabba dabba.
You
Yeah,
remembered it?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, to start us off, I thought this was quite an easy one, so I hope you get it. Mm-hmm. What does YOLO stand for, and how and when is it used?
YOLO. YOLO.
I've heard it used.
Yeah, I've heard it used
In passing.
too. Sarah Harris does it on Studio 10.
She goes YOLO.
YOLO.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What does it stand for? YOLO.
So the letters stand for words.
Yes.
You.
Love something. No, you love her. Love
How might it come up in conversation?
YOLO. Yeah, can we have a sentence,
Yeah.
please?
Yeah.
So you've been rebellious or you've done something out of the ordinary and someone's like, oh, why'd you do that? And you're like, YOLO.
YOLO.
Yep.
You'll learn it. You'll learn it. Yeah. I think we're going to have to give up.
Pass. Yeah.
Okay. You only live once.
All right, so that's one for us and one for you. Okay, second question
Playing
from
for the car this time.
the baby boomers, the holiday and the car and the caravan. Okay, I'll give them the one about the that machine.
Oh, okay.
What is this piece of technology from the probably 50s and 60s, but 60s, 70s?
Oh, it was still being
Okay.
used in the 80s,
80s,
and
yeah.
in fact in the 90s. it was
So
being
it's a
used too.
machine. What is a telex machine? Telex. A telex machine. Your time starts now.
You should know. You're probably better at knowing this one than me.
I'd guess that it stands for telephone extension.
Yeah, I think it's...
So I would imagine it'd be something to
Ooh.
do with like the telephone switcher.
That your answer?
It's almost, it's close, but it's not a cigar. I can give a little teeny clue. It does involve a kind of something happening through the telephone.
Yeah, I'll give you another clue.
Okay.
Your newsroom would have had them.
Newsroom.
It was very important to
Would it be a
newsrooms.
telephone exchange? Is that no? It's
3, 2, 1. Okay, a telex machine was the forerunner to a fax machine, and it was a sort of digital communications thing that used telephone lines to send digital.
Is that when it had the little?
It was like a typewriter.
Yeah,
do you know what a typewriter is?
Yeah.
It was.
And if they had to send a message overseas without talking to someone in the middle of the night, they would send a telex. So if Qantas wanted to send a message to Qantas in London, they would send a telex.
So like an early telegram.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay,
You were close, Ryan. Ryan was pretty close.
Very good, close, but not close enough. Okay, now over to Gen Y.
Okay. Now, you should know One Direction, right, Jono?
Yeah, 1D,
And
1D.
John, yes?
Down with the
Okay.
kids.
So what's the name of the model that ex-One Direction member Zayn Malik is dating?
Oh, my God. And this is not multiple choice. Can't you give us a clue?
Oh, okay. Oh, actually,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did prepare a multiple
I've seen a
choice, just to
picture
be
of
safe.
that. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Yasmin someone?
Okay.
Hold on.
Don't give it away. Okay. So Perry Edwards is an A. B is Kendall Jenner. C is Gigi Hadid.
Gigi.
Yes.
Because I was going to go for the first one, but then I remember Gigi because I went, oh my God, it's like a
See,
a horse.
and Ryan didn't even know that one at first.
Okay,
so
not even a little
you did
bit.
pretty well.
Do we get another half point because Ryan didn't know it?
Yeah.
I think
we
that's
give you that. We can give you that.
3. We don't have half points.
Oh,
I can't
okay.
do that. So it's 3 to the old farts and 1 to the young Gen Ys. John?
Okay, next question is, if Jono said he was a Sharpie,
I'm a Sharpie.
what would that mean?
Not in the modern sense of a Sharpie, as in a...
Sharpie.
There are products called
Is it
Sharpies.
saying like he's very clever? He's like a smarty?
That's a modern use of the word sharp.
Yeah.
Sharp as a bowling ball.
Sharpie.
A Sharpie.
He's a-
I'll give him a bit of a clue.
Okay.
You usually had 2 kinds of people. They were Sharpies or they were something else.
So-
Mods and rockers, Sharpies and...
What was the other one? Sharpies and what? Swimmers.
Surfies.
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 Oh,
Sharp.
all right, okay.
Oh, were you like a skater boy?
No.
Oh.
Well,
3, 2, 1. You were close because Sharpies were the guys that used to beat up surfers sometimes, and they were like hunters and collectors. And Magda Zabansky used to be a sort of skinhead or a Sharpie. She used to hang out with Slade, were a Sharpie band. Hunters and collectors used to do "Got to get my head down there."
Yeah, they used to have a dance they used to do
dance.
too. Bizarre dance.
So they were kind of guys that had like rat tails hair.
Oh,
it was sort of a
really?
hybrid mullet, basically.
Hybrid
Business still in the front,
Yep.
right? Rat's tails
Party
at
in
the
the
back.
back.
Yeah.
No, rat's tails at the back.
Yeah. Not much of a party
So
back
business and bogan.
there. That's right, business and bogan.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that was
Nice
a Sharpie.
mix. Wow.
Sharpies versus
Sharpies.
Surfies. So that means we've now got...
You're winning.
We've
I
got
know, you're
I think
winning.
we've got 4 points to 1, which means it's time for you guys... I think this is the last question, maybe.
Oh, well, we have 2 more. but-
Okay, all right.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, is on fleek good or bad?
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, because I think it means that you're on parade or on looking your best.
Okay, and you get bonus points
Yep.
if you can use it correctly in a sentence. So give me a sentence and I'll say if you've used it right for the
That
bonus.
shirt that you're wearing is totally on fleek.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well done.
Look at that. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed.
That
God
was
bless.
great.
I'm here till Thursday.
Yeah.
Try
You're
the veal.
killing it tonight, guys.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, we haven't done any studying or anything, have we?
I think my last one's a good one.
How
so.
hip are we? I mean, really?
I know.
So hip.
I watch a hell of a lot of
I'm really
that,
impressed.
satellite TV. I watch a lot of E, the E channel,
Oh, that's
Like,
and
gives
the
you some good
Kardashians.
I think Donald Trump watches
Absolutely.
those channels too. Yeah.
Shall I give them one more question? But now that we're winning so well, we've got
Yeah.
time.
Just keep going.
A lot of people have been. A lot of
keep
people.
slamming up
Running up the
spot.
scoreboard
So
here.
just to remind you, our prize is if we win, we get to play an old fart song. If you guys win, which doesn't look like it's going to happen, you get to play one of the young people's tracks. Okay, here's one for you. Be careful with this one. One of these airlines, well, I should say, which one of these airlines no longer exists? Ansett, Pan American, TAA. Which one? Or could it be a trick question?
It could be.
Time starts now.
Problem is, a lot of them have gone under different names now, which really makes it hard.
Ansett,
I don't-
Pan Am, or TAA, the friendly way.
You sound like you're actually on an aeroplane now, doing the announcement.
Up and away.
I was thinking none of them are
Well done, Jamie.
None of them exist anymore.
Yeah.
Handset went broke in the 80s. Fantastic Australian airline. Sir Peter Aples and Ansett and TNT and Rupert Murdoch had a part of that. TAA was Trans-Australian Airlines.
That's right, yep.
Then taken over by Qantas, became sort of Jetstar in some ways.
And they became Australian Airlines.
And then Pan Am went broke, and also after the Lockerbie disaster, they stopped. They went into non-existence. So you were right. None of them exist anymore.
Yeah.
Well done, Jamie.
So I think that's about it for...
Wait, I want one more.
Okay.
That's my good one. It's my good one.
So now
I think this is going to put you a bit lower, so I might have a chance.
Old farts are on 4, and the score check is the young Gen Ys are on 2.
I thought you got 4.5.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
No, you didn't do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Here it is.
Here it is. Final question in the generation gap.
Which British TV show host created the carpool karaoke?
Oh, that's easy.
Told you we'd know this.
He's
one.
a little bit chubby,
Yeah.
and he's on American TV. Mm-hmm. And what's his name? What's his name?
Oh, you might not know the name.
You know, he was in...
He's got blonde hair.
Yes,
He's
but
got
you need to
chubby.
get the name.
And he hosted the Grammys.
Oh,
Time's ticking away.
It is. It's
3,
ticking.
What is his
2,
name?
1.
we give up.
Yes, James Corden.
Because
Nice work.
he's a friend of the little One Direction guys, and he's a friend of all those
Justin
pop
Bieber.
stars. Oh.
Yes.
All right, so the final score is Old Farts 4, Young Farts 3. So
good
that means we
work.
still get to play a bit of an old fart. That has been...
RTI.
That was it. Jono Colman, thank you very much indeed. But Rachel's going to... Rachel
Jono Colman.
Rachel loves Jono Colman, don't you, Rach?
Really do. He's like one of my childhood heroes because he was on this fantastic show when I was a kid called Simon Townsend's Wonder World. And Simon Townsend had a big bloodhound called Woodrow at the
You must
desk
have been
with
a
him.
child.
I was a tiny child, and I was. He would throw off to all these fantastic reporters doing all these really cool stories, of one of which was Jono Colman.
Well, there you go.
No, Jono
Massive
Colman
fan.
must have been a child. He's not older than you.
I was about 6 or 7 maybe, and he was probably about 10.
Yeah, he was a junior reporter.
Oh,
He
I
was
see.
Very
Yeah.
young, very.
And
I remember him on
before he
Breakfast
says it, and also a friend of Mr. Rhodes.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, Seb. Seb's just come and joined us. You're late, Seb. Where have you been?
Seb.
We move on. Do you remember a couple of years ago, boys and girls, we got into a little bit of a contretemps. Is that the right word?
No, it isn't, but carry on.
Oh.
Sounded fancy.
He had too many T's on the end, that was all. You just had a little T on the end that didn't need to be there.
Because I pronounced the T properly.
That's because you're from Cockney land.
No, because that's the way
Yeah,
my mother
you
told
don't
me,
know how to
told me
talk
to speak.
proper.
Unlike,
That's because you.
It's
hang
a
on,
contretemps.
I'll give you Manchester.
All right.
That was the word. Contretemps.
It's not. It goes in Mancunian. It goes contretemps.
There's no. Where's the T from the end of it?
There isn't one. We all drop our T's. How's it going Australian, Rach?
We say to do, but whatever. We don't say contretemps. We're not up ourselves enough to use that word.
Ah,
yeah,
right.
too many syllables in it for Australia.
Well, I
isn't
don't
there?
care because it's Good Friday and I'm going to be right. We had a contretemps, or an argument, with Wikipedia, if you remember.
Yeah, Wikipedia, what a load of rubbish.
Yeah, where we got chastised by some, but we proved the point that at that time Wikipedia was a load of tut, which it still is. And at long last...
If you didn't put the T on the end of that, it'd be a load of 2.
It was 5 years ago, and it was my very first show, and I remember thinking, wow, these people hate Wikipedia.
Was it really 5 years ago?
And was it really your first show?
It really was, and I was thinking, what on earth am I doing here, and why are these people so upset about a funny online thing, and why is everybody getting so cross?
Well, anyway, Wikipedia have done it again because good old Burger King had a sort of an interactive type advert, but then Wikipedia managed to put on their site, get this, they wrote in the ingredients for the Burger King, which I have to say is my preferred burger shop over McDonald's, to be honest.
I agree more, actually, but there are other outlets available.
Yes, indeed. But they
Toilet.
Wikipedia claimed that the burger's ingredients included rat meat and toenail clippings.
But those are the specials. You don't just get that automatically. You have to pay extra for that.
Yeah, but people were actually thinking it was true.
Isn't it?
Adding stuff to Wikipedia entries.
Nothing.
It was on Wikipedia.
Honestly.
Being in those fake newspapers.
But it's the same deal. People should not believe Wikipedia without checking another source.
They should, and it depends what source. If you want toenail clipping sauce, go to Wikipedia.
Yeah, but if you just want ketchup, that's okay.
If you want ketchup, go on Instagram.
Oh, lordy.
What George Washington said, back in the day, he said you have to be careful about quotes on the internet, and he was right.
He was absolutely.
Oh, what?
May I just say something, though, about Wikipedia?
Oh, must you?
Well, the problem, I started to ponder Wikipedia 5 years ago when we started saying that about it. And it crossed my mind that actually when you think the history books of the world are written by people who didn't really have any knowledge at the time, they just put it all together. But the difference is they were scholars. The difference is that Wikipedia is written by knobs.
Yes.
How do they write then?
Knobs bounce up and down a bit and carry on.
Anyway, bottom line is, boys and girls, Burger Kings are lovely burgers. That is for sure. They really are. The information that's on Wikipedia is a complete load of old rubbish, as per normal. And it's because anybody can go on there and just be nasty about people with no validation whatsoever, no controls over it. And they tried to say to us, well, it's not our fault. And
Wikipedia?
Yeah, do you remember?
I do. Wikipedia say we have no responsibility for anything that goes on there, which is perfectly true because nobody would ever be responsible for it.
Money from people every time they enter that site.
I know, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So my advice, boys and girls, forget Wikipedia. Go to a reputable place, and then you'll get...
to the Consumer Watch Foundation. That's reputable, and it'll never tell you a lie. It'll only ever tell you the truth because it's a really good place to be.
And if anybody in Australia is currently confused, they're talking about Hungry Jack's.
Yes. Sorry, yes, I forgot about that, Rach.
Who's that?
They're called... Burger King isn't Burger King in Australia. It's called Hungry Jack's.
Is it indeed?
Yes.
It is indeed. It's true. The home of the Whopper.
That's in Britain.
Yes, we won't... There's a lot of funny names in Australia.
There are.
There's even a funny name that I won't say on here, which is a brand name for sticky tape.
What is it? Spell it then. Spell it.
Well, it starts with a D and ends with an X. And there's an R in the middle.
Drix? Drox? Drax?
No, I've missed some letters out on purpose.
There's a couple of vowels in there as well.
Yes, there's a couple of vowels in there. Louise is online. Hello, Louise.
Anyway, what's he talking about? What starts with D and ends with X?
Shall I whisper? Shall I whisper so nobody hears?
God, then whisper it.
Durex.
What, you eat them?
No.
You eat them in Australia?
There's a brand of sticky tape down there.
Big old new meaning to swallow it.
It's also a brand of something else down here as well.
Yes, I know. But
so you don't want to get confused when you're doing your shopping.
No, you don't really. Tesco's has apologised after a newspaper advert for discounted beer said, Good Friday just got better. And they were chastised for it because it was an alcohol advert on Good Friday. And people got very upset.
Alcohol. No, nobody drinks alcohol on Good Friday, do they? It's Bad Friday in Britain, isn't it? It's known as Bad Friday because you can't have alcohol. What a
No. I have been shown this because I'm not I was encouraged to go to church the other week, actually. Not when I was recording, but another time, which I didn't. Anyway.
You had outside and burst into flames.
Yeah. Hey, can you imagine me?
Is that frost burning onto his forehead that caused the problem?
Yeah, I was going to say, when I walk into the church and use the holy water and put it on my face, I'd disappear. But there you go. Apparently one reverend complained about this thing on Twitter and it all got a bit silly. But, you know, when you go to church, be it an Anglican or Roman Catholic or whatever, you take, or people take what is called Holy Communion. Now, within that segment of it, it is supposed to be the blood of Christ, but what they use is red wine.
Exactly, which is a bit different than yellow beer.
But
Because
it's still,
that would have a wholly different meaning.
but it's still alcohol.
It certainly is, and I love them both. Oh, hallelujah!
Oh, shush! Yes, Rach.
It's a symbolic gesture. You're not sitting. The where you take your Holy Communion at the altar doesn't then become a bar and you get a pint.
I see.
It's ridiculous. It's not even a sip. It just basically touches your lips. That's all.
Exactly.
If they don't deliver you an entire big swill of it. It's a tiny little sip that it just sort of touches your lips. It's very symbolic and it's
okay.
Yeah, but you can go in the vestry after and have it.
Yeah, we don't know.
No. No, at the end of the ceremony, Mr. Banks, I'll give you some culture now. The priest or the vicar or whoever consumes the rest to make sure that it's
Nobody else can have it.
Yeah.
But it's really, you got to understand too, it's really watered down. My family's all Anglican.
Right.
And I grew up in church single week, and my mum would serve as one of the, I don't know what they're called. They're actually called servers, but it's sort of like the helper.
A server.
A server.
Doing all these. So I said, I'd get all the inside goss from her because I was only a kid. And I'd say, what's in there? And she'd say, well, it's a little bit of wine, but it's mostly water. Does it taste nice? No, she would say. And my mum's a real wine snob, so nothing tastes good to her unless it's directly out of the Barossa Valley. Yeah. But she would say, no, it's mostly watered down. Because I say, doesn't he get drunk? He drinks all that at the end. He does the dishes. She said, no, it's just a tiny little bit of wine, mostly water. It's very much symbolic.
It's really interesting.
No. Leigh, there are genuine wholesalers of what is called church wine, which is watered down wine.
What fascinates me is that I actually went to church a few years ago, and I was sitting there and I watched the vicar or the priest go to the back of the room and actually polish off the wine and do the washing up. I thought, that's a bit cheeky. It was his job.
It's all part of the ceremony. You prepare the feast, and and then you have to clean up after it. It's all part of the ceremony, and it's very important to people. You know, we all live in fundamentally Christian nations, I guess.
Yes.
And today is really.
Without the
we were driving from Melbourne today, and it was really interesting to see all the little small towns and what was open and what wasn't. Basically, the entire world had shut down today. But there was one place that was open in a place called Ballarat, which is a fantastic place if you ever come to Australia. Ballarat's the best. And there was one little place that was open. There was a pharmacy, and right next to it was a fish and chippy place. Oh. And they were open at 9 o'clock in the morning. Oh. And it was brilliant. The smell of the fish cooking because it's Good Friday.
Yeah, fish and chips.
Fish and chips.
Oh, if I wasn't on a diet, I'd have fish and chips tonight.
I'm having fish and chips tonight now. I've decided with curry.
Very hungry.
Can't. Not allowed.
But then we went past Rach and everything was all right.
Okay. Rach, what's going on?
Why?
Well, a housing developer is giving away one of his properties for free to a needy family in New Zealand. This is down in Auckland. And he's giving this house away. It's a 3-bedroom property, and he's actually pricing it at zero. Nothing. Nada. You can't. No cost whatsoever. The only problem is you've got to lift the house up and move it onto your own property.
Yeah. What's the problem?
Nobody's bothered to take him up on the offer.
Maybe it's real. It's not It's not like Up. You know that great movie with the balloons?
Yeah.
It's not. You have to actually have it removed from its foundations and then carried somewhere else. And a lot of people can't afford to do that. It's quite a big undertaking.
Well, it's worth between 75,000 and 100,000 New Zealand dollars.
Oh, it's not a very big place. It's just a shed.
That's worth about £4.50. It's very difficult to move a house that's already attached to foundations that are established in the ground. It's a construction exercise, so it would cost money, a lot of money, to have it removed and then transported to somewhere else, and then have it refixed to foundations and have the plumbing done again and the electrics done again and everything else. You see the benefit.
It's impossible.
I get what this guy's trying to do, and he's being very generous. But
Rach, is he?
Well, no, he's not being generous. He's having somebody remove his rubbish for him, basically.
Yes.
I mean,
it would cost $24,000 to do it.
Mm.
So actually, if the house, this could be a good deal. I actually witnessed this being done, and Eric Norman Wiltshire will possibly remember this happening. Do you remember when they moved the shambles across Manchester?
Yes.
Yeah, they put literally, Rach, it was an ancient pub. I think it was a 14th century pub, or a row of buildings which the pub was in, and they lifted it out of the ground, put it on the back of a low loader and drove it across town, and then stuck it back, and it's still there today. Moves a bit if you lean on it, moves down the street a bit, but
but structurally you don't know what's going on. I mean, New Zealand's having trouble keeping any of their houses above ground anyway.
Well, that's true.
They've been ravaged with earthquake, so you don't know what sort of damage may have been done. There's a lot of factors that you just don't know.
Do you know what I do? I put it on big springs. Just put it on big springs, so if there's an earthquake, it'll just wobble a bit.
Yeah, that's true.
Like a big jumpy car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That works. Anyway, we've only got 5 minutes left, and I've got to squeeze some bits in. Apparently, engineering researchers say they've solved a riddle which has been driving me nuts for my entire life. Why do shoelaces come undone?
Because they're not made of Velcro.
Oh, I never thought of that. That's that story ruined then, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you said you've only got 5 minutes left, so I'm rushing through it.
Right, okay, that works. Rach has got the cure. Well, kind of, because it's in the same continent as her.
Yeah.
It's a big fish.
The Fan Blenny?
It's a little fish. It's actually not a big fish. It's a little fish, and it delivers a bite to anybody trying to attack it. But it doesn't kill them. It just sort of delivers them a bit of a nasty goink. So they decided that the venom would actually be great as a painkiller in humans.
Wow.
Because it's an opioid-based venom. And it's apparently going to be very effective should they be able to, manufacture it to work in pharmaceuticals. But, yeah, that little fishy, but we've got to keep him alive because it's currently perailing on our reef, which is being bleached by hot temperatures in the water.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
Well, we'll have to calm. Rach, can't you go and throw a few buckets of ice around the coral reef?
Well, we need that, but we also need a great big umbrella over it.
Oh, right. Yes, I've got it.
In case it rains, you don't want to get it wet, do you?
No. Bad news in Manchester quickly. Bad news in Manchester quickly.
In Denton, which is even worse.
Yeah, I know Denton's. No, there was a nice nightclub in Denton I worked at once.
There is, Yeah, what was that called? I know it.
Oh, flip! I can't remember now.
Damn it. That one.
Yeah, they did your trick.
Did they indeed?
Yeah, they called me a Cockney.
They were talking about. Carry on.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, a KFC restaurant has been forced to shut down after a burning car rolled up to the drive-through order window and then set the building alight as well.
He had a burning
that's what
desire
you do
for
in
KFC.
Denton.
Oh, very good, Rach.
I missed it. What did she say?
He had a burning desire for KFC.
I'd have had a tumbleweed moment for that. I think you should.
Really?
Right.
Yes.
No, I think that's lovely.
No,
I think it's absolutely
That's
wonderful.
not
Anyway, Rach, quickly. Rach.
For burning thing.
Yes, Rach, quickly.
What?
What are you going to do tell us where you are and what you're doing the rest of the weekend?
We're in Adelaide because this is my hometown, Robbie's hometown. We're going to see all of our members of our family, except my mum who's away. But tomorrow's with my dad, and then my sister and my nieces and Mary and everybody like that. And then on Sunday, all the Talientis, so all Rob's side of the family. And then we're driving back to Melbourne.
Wow. What are you doing, Mr. Banks?
Well, I'm actually going to take my diesel truck out to We Buy Any Car and see how much they'll offer me so I can buy a petrol one, because they've just now put the price of diesel up to make it ludicrous.
Oh, that's rather sad, isn't it? Anyway, with that, we're actually going to shut up for a bit. No, till next week, actually. So thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Have a nice Easter. Have a nice Easter. We'll get rid of them. Get rid of Leigh out of the way. Anyway, we're now going to have a quick listen to some very Easter-orientated music, courtesy of the St George's Choir from a small suburb of Poprad called Spiska Sobota, which used to be a village on its own one time, but it got swallowed up into Poprad. And as I say, these are volunteer singers. They're absolutely fabulous. Really, really lovely to listen to. It is in Slovak, but you know what? Why not share a bit of culture around the world on Good Friday? Because radio goes across countries and continents, which politicians can never, ever do. This is Radio Tatras International.
From the heart of the earth to the world, RTI.
RTI, a place just like home. RTI.
Ježiš náš víťazný kráľ.
RTI.